All right. Well,
Hello.
welcome back.
Welcome back to
We
ROLO
are
World.
back. What is this? Episode 3?
We're back and better than ever.
Episode 3? 3?
Tree.
Yeah.
Tree.
Well, we missed you guys.
Yes, we did miss last week.
Yeah.
Sad, but we're back now.
Yeah. Last week was a long week
Long week.
and
A
we're
lot
good
going
now
on.
though. We're
Yes,
good,
it's very good.
all right?
Good vibes, and we're ready
So,
to make
yeah.
another fucking episode.
There we go. And Fate, what is our topic today?
Money, 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 money.
Money. So, what about money? What
No,
about
you kick
money?
us off.
What about
You
you want
you
me to
are
kick us
you're
off?
the financial fucking expert over here.
All right,
You
so
kick
we're
us
gonna
off.
we're gonna talk about money. How to have money come to you versus you
Right.
just working for money your entire life and working for someone else and chasing money, and then in your later
Right.
years you not enjoying the time that you have then, you know, um versus like in your younger years you're just working the whole time.
Right.
And what if in your younger years you work for yourself and you build up yourself so much that you have a lot of money that you can give back to literally anybody?
Or you just do something that you love,
That too.
and
Yeah.
whether that is working for someone else, but it's like so important to like love what you do
Yeah.
and to know that like any job you go to, you're gonna be exchanging like your time
Yeah,
in
that's true.
for money.
That's
And
true. That's true.
it's definitely like unfortunate reality, and I know like we
Hmm.
all have to make money to like survive, but it's like so hard to be in your 20s. Like you have to like think about like you know yeah, oh my god, there's just so much to think about. You like like what is going on? You really have to think about like you know okay, I have to save up for my future, but also
Uh-huh.
spend money right now and enjoy like the
Yeah.
now, and
Yeah.
then make sure like I'm not making huge financial like terrible decisions
Yeah.
that will like
Because then
ruin
it,
me
it
for the rest of my
impacts like your
life.
30s, and then your 30s
Right.
impact your 40s, and
But
your 40s impact your
also
50s. Yeah.
make sure like you're taking risks,
Of
but not too
course.
much
Of course.
risk.
But then again, like
Yeah.
your younger years, you're supposed to be taking all the risks that you can,
Yeah. True.
because it's the best time to take risk. You're young. You
Right.
have a lot of years to build back that money and
Yeah.
build back that time, you know what I mean? But yeah, to your point, obviously, like
Yeah.
too much risk. Like you going at a bar and spending out all your money. Like that's just downright stupid. Like, you know what I mean? Like
You got no food for tomorrow.
that
You
is
gotta have
that is that
some
is the
money to
some
buy food
decision that you should
tomorrow.
never be making. That is so
Yeah.
stupid. Don't do that.
Yeah.
It's
Unless you're a
important,
partier.
huh?
What?
Unless you're what?
Unless you're a partier.
I mean, who knows?
At the
Maybe they
bars.
go to the bar and spend all their money. In your younger years, you should be working hard, but think about building yourself up or building something for yourself in the future. Whereas this is what you've worked for. You know what I mean? Instead
Right.
of just working for someone and like giving to their goals or giving to their plans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um Obviously situation plays a lot into everything that we do.
Right.
Um and I feel like because I recently heard a story about this guy. He's telling me how he never worked a day in his life, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And he was saying that because it's not that he didn't work hard. He did. He said he actually worked extra hard because he was working on his own business,
Right.
you know,
And he loved what he did,
and he
and
loved what he
it
did.
didn't really feel like a job.
Yeah,
And I
because he
think
didn't
that's
work.
like
He
the
wasn't
goal.
working for someone else. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's definitely the goal.
Um, so that's a good way to like go around getting getting money. Um, and also building yourself as well too, because the value that you're adding to whatever you're building, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And value is so important, like doing everything with intention, and like of course like there are going to be moments where you're not always going to be intentional about your money. Like
Yeah.
you're going to like go to the store and fucking see like food that you want or
Right.
like a shirt that you like, you know. Obviously like you're just going to like buy it because you want it. There's no
Mhm.
like intention
Mhm.
real intention behind it, but it's so important for like most of your financial decisions, like the big ones especially, to have intention behind it and to
Yeah.
like know
No,
where your
true.
money's going and
That's true.
like between a car, house, or like even renting an apartment, like
Yeah.
knowing
Yeah.
what the fuck
And
you're
also
doing.
like save.
Yes, saving is so important. Like so important.
You gotta save. If you don't save, you can't invest. Like when
You're
I
right.
was younger, my parents taught me about saving my money, putting it away.
Yeah.
Um, but they didn't teach me the part of like the other types of investments. So like risk investments, like mutual funds, Roth IRAs, all the like fancy
Yeah.
stuff. They didn't teach me that, but it taught me the first step, which is good,
Right.
and that has helped me along the way. You know. Um, what has your parents taught you about money?
It's kind of like a crazy question only because I feel like what I learned from what I was taught, like I don't enforce now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not something I like necessarily agree with like some of the parts, but definitely one thing was like my mom always being like, oh, like, you know, just not being so like cheap with your money, like always giving to like people if
Yeah.
they need it or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, not just needing it, but like if they want something. And while I think that can be very kind and I think that can be like a very good act, I think there's a lot of downsides to that. And like
Yeah.
if you don't set boundaries with that, it gets very like messy very quick.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if like both parties, it's like kind of hurting them,
Yeah.
you know, because like the one party like always giving the money, like the givers, you know, like they don't think they're doing anything wrong because they're like, oh my god, like I just want to give, it feels good, or like,
Yeah.
you know, I just want to help this person I love, right? But
Yeah.
then
Mm-hmm.
later down the line, they like get those consequences and then they have no money because they've given it all away.
Right.
And
So they usually say takers have no limit and givers have no limit as well.
right.
Takers are going to keep taking if the givers are giving.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, you're right. Sometimes you have to be selfish with your money. Like you have
Yeah.
to keep it so that okay, so it's like a seesaw, you know?
Right.
Once you save and you get up, you can help people up, or you could change that culture of just giving away your money freely, because
Right.
if you think about it, nobody's gonna build if everybody's just giving away their money.
Yeah.
It's not a good system, you know.
Plus, one thing that I think is like very interesting, and I, growing up, I heard a lot of different sides about it, but I feel like rich people are always something like people kind of like fantasize about, or like
Yeah.
they wish they had their life or whatever. And I
Hmm.
think like a key part to all of that is they were selfish with their money. And I'm not
Yeah,
saying like
it's
that's like
true.
a great thing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm also not saying it's like the worst thing, but I think depending on how you grew up in your mindset about money,
Hmm.
you're gonna like see rich people in a certain way.
Right.
Like my family and like how they see money, they could theoretically see rich people as like, oh, they never share, like
Right.
they're too selfish. Like I would never want to be someone like that. But then
Yeah, but do you want freedom, or
right,
do you want to be just living life and
right,
with so much boundaries that you can't even go anywhere when you want to go, you know?
right.
With so much boundaries that you can't even like go travel when you want to travel or go take a vacation somewhere. And yeah, do you want to have freedom, or you want to be stuck that you can't
Yeah.
do anything for yourself when you want to? So
Right.
that's where like being selfish with your own money allows you later down in life to give back,
Right.
and obviously your priority changes over time and you change as a person over time. Sometime when you're older, what if you don't want to give back?
You're like, fuck that. I'm not helping you.
Like
No, no,
literally,
no.
you know what I mean? So
No, yeah.
I don't intentionally mean to say that, but like
Yeah, yeah. No, it's true. Some people are like very selfish where they're like, I don't want to like do it. Like
yeah,
this is like mine. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
no, seriously, yeah,
Like they won't give anything.
yeah,
Which is their decision, but you know,
yeah,
there's both sides. There's
yeah. I
both
mean,
sides.
when you start getting around people that are very wealthy and stuff, they definitely teach you a lot about thinking and how to think and how to view
Yeah.
money and how they view money. And you'll see it's very much different than a lot of folks.
That's one thing I loved about Northwestern is like that you can like you're surrounded by so many people that like I fully believe this like talking about millions every day versus like
Oh yeah. Yeah.
hundreds or like like a $10 bill.
Yeah.
Like you literally talk about millions and it's in every conversation
Yeah.
versus like when you're at home, maybe you talk about like, oh, $10 or
Mhm.
oh, this was
Mhm.
$50. Like
Yeah, no,
it
I've
changes
definitely
your mindset and it
definitely
like makes you
does.
know it's possible and like,
Yeah.
if you didn't already know that before.
Like $1 million is not a lot of money.
Yeah, which is crazy.
It's not.
It's like so wild.
Yeah, yeah. Like I don't know. Because just sitting in front of people that have a lot of money, they don't even care about money. That's
Yeah.
not something that bothers them. They're not moved by it, you know? Um, they're very principled people though.
Yeah.
Very, very principled. Very principled. Like if you say you're gonna do something, you better get
You're
it
gonna do
done.
it. Yeah.
You better do it. And those are the little principles that get you into rooms that you should be in,
Right.
you know?
One of
So
my what you just said made me think of this. One of my favorite streamers, he said greatness does not come from doing the easy work,
no.
and it never has.
Hmm.
And like he literally was saying like he had like this whole motivational moment where he was like talking about stuff. He was like I could literally sit here and like choose to like go in my bed, watch Netflix, eat popcorn and like watch my favorite show. Like, you know what I mean? Like just hang out and like watch my favorite show whatever. But he was running at like 12 a.m. because he
Mm,
was like I didn't get a chance to run today. And this was the only time I did.
yeah.
And like he could have chose to like just go to bed. He was so tired. But he knew he had a plan and he knew he was like
Yeah.
I want to stick to that plan and
Hmm.
it makes him feel better
Yeah.
and that's what he needed to do to
It's all about
get
the
through the day.
sacrifice. What you sacrifice, you give
Yeah,
up, and sometimes for a lot of people, people are sacrificing a lot to get where they are.
right.
And if you would ask them and listen to them, then you'll definitely get a different perspective
Hell yeah.
on how the hell they got there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, look at like Aiden Ross for like for example. He started off
Right.
very young. He didn't want to go to college. He knew he didn't want to go to college. His family was pissed that
Right.
he didn't want to go to college. And he said he's going to become a streamer. And he
Right.
became one of the greatest streamer today.
Yeah, which is so crazy
Yeah.
because most people like will hate on people who are streamers. They're like, "Oh, how can you make money sitting down
Right.
playing
All
games?
you do is
All you do
stream.
is play
You're
games.
behind a computer all
Yeah,
day.
like you
Da,
don't
da,
get
da. I
outside. You can actually like do a real
mean,
job. Like all these things."
look at Kai Sinet.
Yeah, he makes so much money, and
Yeah.
he like literally sees so many different people,
Right.
celebrities. Like he
The
does so many
value
different
again. The
things.
value. The kid has value.
Like there's so much intention
Yeah.
behind each of his episodes,
Yeah.
or not episodes, but streams,
Yeah.
and that's why he like is so popular
Yeah. That's
because
true.
people love his art
Yeah.
that he created in his life.
Man's got aura.
Aura. It's like my favorite word right now. Aura.
Yeah.
And also, we have to let the audience know. Okay, my sock. If you're wondering about my sock, I have to tell you because I know people are wondering about my sock. Okay, look at that. Not like to look at my dogs, but like look at my feet. Okay. So you can see like there's like a line here. Okay, my mom wears her sandals like with her flip flops with these socks and permanently stained the socks.
Mm.
So now I literally washed this sock like 10 times and I can't get the stain out. Like I need some really bad stain remover to get this shit out. And then this one's like fine. Like look at that.
maybe maybe she only wears it rough on this foot on this I
But why is she so rough with her one foot?
don't
Like what
know.
is she?
I don't know.
Who
I got
knows?
no questions.
Yeah. Shout out.
Shout out mom, though your
Shout
mom.
out mom. Yeah. We love her.
uh
Yeah, we're gonna take a small break
yep,
and we'll be back.
we'll be back.
Don't you worry. Get a
Peace.
sip of water. Bro's ready.
I was ready to go.
Get a sip of water.
Yeah.
Take a
Hydrate,
breather. Go take a piss.
Stay moist. Peace.
Peace.
Moments later, a few minutes later, a few inches later, 12 seconds later, 3 days later.
Hope everyone had a really
Back
big,
from break.
good sip of water. And they took a good piss.
Yeah. Imagine seeing like Zendaya concert.
Shout out 8-year-old me.
Imagine.
That's where it started, actually.
Yeah. Did she like inspire your sparkle music?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
That's
We
crazy.
know. We know.
That's crazy. You saw Zendaya and like, was that her beginning or that wasn't her beginning? Was it
It was like her
like her fresh, like
pretty
her
early
starting up? Yeah.
ages, yeah.
That's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
she's like crazy right now. She's popping.
I know.
You know. So, damn.
Yeah.
Did you get a picture?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think she did pictures.
Oh, yeah.
She literally just went on stage and I think left.
Yeah.
It was a pretty like small concert. Like she definitely was popular, but it wasn't like a crazy thing. Like
Yeah.
I don't think many people knew about it.
Yeah. Wow.
So
No.
I don't know.
People would pay a lot of money to see her right now, though.
I know.
Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
back to our topic
Back to
of
the topic of
money,
cha-ching, cha-ching.
the dollars. Yeah.
Money, money, money.
So, how are we concluding this?
Well, I would say if you're looking to be better with your money and you don't know where to start, definitely start with saving and budgeting and definitely start with your mindset. Like, see how you feel about money and really like pay attention to where you learned those things about money and see if it's something you want to carry with you when you go forward. And it's okay to be a little selfish with your money too. And I think it's important to have, a balance with everything. That's so hard. Like really being like in your 20s, like I was saying before, like you got to have it like all figured out, but then don't have it figured out and then like you have time but you don't have time and then you know what I mean? Like you got to take the risks but not take risks, but everything in moderation and be able to take little moments out of the day to give back to someone. Like just once every day. And if you can, like do it in a very direct way. Like for example, something small I do that makes me feel good about myself and also I like it because it makes like other people feel good is whenever I go to Dunkin', I pay for the person behind me. Because I don't know, I just feel like it would make my day if I was at Dunkin' and I was like having a shitty morning or like, if you have kids and like they're running around and then like, you don't have any time for yourself and like your coffee is the only time you get to like feel relaxed.
Yeah.
Like if you get up to that window and they're like, "Oh yeah, like someone paid for you." Like you're good. It's just like there's such a feeling about it that
So like next time when you go to Dunkin' Donuts,
yeah, be behind me in line actually. I'll pay
yeah,
for
I'm
you.
gonna be right behind you.
But that's such a small example. Like so small, but that directly impacts someone. And even if you do it indirectly, like let's say through a GoFundMe, where like you don't get to see that person's like reaction or you don't get to like feel that connection with them, but you're still like giving away to someone random or someone like but you're like still helping them. Like definitely like
Yeah.
I don't know, try and do a little bit each day or each week or just set some time apart cuz like over time that will make you feel good about yourself and also you'll see like the change that you have on the world and the impact and
true. Also, finding something on the side to do as well too that will bring in additional income for yourself. Um, so like yes, you work your job, but then there's also some stuff that you could do. Like for me, I used to do photography in college, where it was like I would just
right.
put aside all that money, don't even touch it. It just sit in an account. Um, and over time, it got to the point where people were seeing the quality of the work that I was putting out, and then they were reaching out to me. So that became like a revenue of income. And one thing that I do want to do is I want to own my own studio one day.
Yes.
So we're
Hell
gonna
yeah.
we're gonna make that happen. And I'm gonna reopen back the studio. And
Like soon?
it's gonna be good. Well, not right now,
Oh,
but it's definitely
in the future.
a plan down the line, like 2-3 years out.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that concludes our third episode.
Yes.
We hope you guys take away something from today. Um, and apply it to whatever you have going on. Um, and comment how your week was, like last week or this week. And we'll see you guys next week, Wednesday.
And before we go, I want to say one last quote of the day that you guys can take away before we do conclude the episode. Greatness does not come from doing the easy shit.
There you go.
Like I said earlier, do not forget that. And go fucking save some money.
Yeah.
Go fucking save some money. Go
That's the
build
beginning.
your future.
That's the beginning of it. You gotta save.
Look out for you.
You gotta save like 12 months of income, 12 months of expenses.
Gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
Start somewhere.
Like
but-
you really want to get up like 12 months of expenses. Yeah. That's a little tip. Yeah.
Okay, little tip.
But yeah, the whole idea, save money.
Yes, save
Yeah.
some money, and we will see you next week.
See you guys next week, Wednesday. Peace.
The what?
There's a Trump dance.
What the fuck is
Yeah,
that?
it's like a
Oh.
bottle of water.
Whoa. Whoa.
Technical difficulties, y'all.
Difficulties.
But
I
you know-
also love whispering into this thing. It's
you
so-
know-
get these people some whoa tonight.
Oh my god, I wish.
That's so funny. You were rushing it.
Was I?
Yeah, you were rushing it. You gotta slow it down.
Like book an Airbnb out in like I don't know, like the what do you call the fancy place or the Pinocchio? What do you call it?
Pinocchio?
No, it's hard with a P.
Is this a place?
Yeah, it's a place where people. So this is a specific place, but
Yeah.
what were we talking about?
I don't even know.
Freedom.
Yes,
Something like getting
yes,
freedom.
I was gonna say.